Hey, Nerd Society! Today, we're diving into the darkest corners of Gotham to explore the most macabre stories of the Joker. This is a character who truly embodies chaos, and some of his tales will send shivers down your spine. If you're into the twisted and unpredictable, you're in for a treat. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our deep dives into the world of comics. Emperor Joker. Instead of unfolding in a typical Batman story, the madness in this tale actually takes place in a Superman storyline titled Emperor Joker. Released in 2001, this story features the Joker interacting with Superman's longtime nemesis, Mr. MXY's PTLK. MXY's PTLK, an almost godlike imp with the ability to warp reality, decides he's curious to see what would happen if he gave just 1% of his powers to a human. Always cunning, the Joker tricks Mr. MXY's PTLK and ends up with 99.99% of his powers, making him one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. With this newfound power, Joker eliminates Lex Luthor, destroys Jimmy Olsen, and even executes Batman, only to resurrect him and repeat the process every day. But the most controversial moment comes when Emperor Joker bizarrely devours the entire nation of China while making jokes that are, at best, highly inappropriate. Poison children. In Frank Miller's Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, poisoning a group of children is just one of the many atrocities committed by the Joker. This 1986 story is one of the rare occasions where the Joker actually meets his end, like for real, with Batman deciding that he finally needs to put an end to his arch-nemesis. A deadly battle ensues, but it falls short when Bruce merely paralyzes the Joker instead of finishing him off. Determined to make it appear to the public that Batman is a killer, the Clown Prince uses his last bit of strength to snap his own neck. Before this final showdown, Batman is lured to a carnival where he discovers hundreds of children poisoned by the Joker, who had distributed tainted cotton candy. Other Harleys? Unfortunately for Harley Quinn, readers have witnessed her being mistreated by the Joker numerous times over the years. What makes this even worse in the death of the family arc is the revelation that Harley isn't the first Harley Quinn. In this story, Harley is poisoned and chained in a dark, damp dungeon. It's in this dungeon that she learns she wasn't the first. In true Joker fashion, this revelation comes with the remains of other supposed Harleys, a chilling reminder of how disposable she is to him. Reign of Poison Glass, Lovers, and Madmen. In 2008, the Lovers and Madmen arc offered a fresh take on the Joker's origin and his first encounter with the Dark Knight. Introduced as an ordinary man named Jack, the Clown Prince of Crime is just as sinister as you'd expect, and this is perfectly encapsulated in the plan he devises to make his mark on Gotham City. This plan involves sending a giant blimp toward the Gotham Towers. Despite the best efforts of the GCPD, the blimp hits its target and explodes on impact. However, the explosion isn't the main issue here. The real danger for the city's residents comes from the shards of glass stored inside the blimp. Always clever and insane, the Joker didn't stop at simply filling the blimp with glass. Those shards were soaked in poison. The boardwalk below quickly fills with victims, all displaying that familiar and chilling smile. Ignored Harley. The world of injustice, where Superman becomes a dictator, is a twisted one. In this reality, Harley Quinn teams up with Batman to end the Man of Steel's reign of terror. Surprisingly, the Injustice comics reveal that this version of Harley has a daughter. After learning that Black Canary is pregnant, Green Arrow being the father, Harley confides in Dinah that she, too, has a child, a little girl named Lucy. Now 4 years old, Lucy has been living with Harley's sister since birth, as Harley explains that the Joker would have never accepted a child. Making things even more shocking, Harley details how she disappeared for an entire year during her pregnancy, only to return and have her puddin' act as if he hadn't even noticed. No Man's Land. At the end of the No Man's Land saga, published in 1999, the Joker decides to kidnap all of Gotham's babies on Christmas to eliminate the city's future. After a frantic search across Gotham, police officer Sarah Essen, who was Commissioner Gordon's wife at the time, discovers that the Joker was holding the kidnapped children in the basement of the police precinct. When she confronts him, Essen drops her weapon to save the babies, only to be killed with a single shot. The Joker then calmly walks out of the room and surrenders to the police outside, leaving Essen's body lying among the children. Traumatized Tim Drake. To this day, there's a scene in Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, that remains incredibly uncomfortable to watch. Of course, that scene is the revelation of what happened to poor Tim Drake in the past. At the heart of this story, the mysterious return of the once-dead Joker is explained by the fact that he implanted a microchip in Tim Drake decades earlier. Without Tim's knowledge, this allowed the Clown Prince's consciousness to take control of his body, effectively turning him into a replica of the Joker. A flashback reveals how Tim was kidnapped and tortured for 3 weeks by the Joker and Harley Quinn. After being exposed to the same chemicals that created the Joker, this Robin is introduced to Batman and Batgirl as Joker Jr. When forced to shoot Batman, Tim manages to regain control of his mind just long enough to fire at the Joker instead. From there, the young hero has an emotional breakdown in a devastating sequence. The tragedy of Lois Lane. In Injustice, tired of his games with Batman where he always ends up losing, the Joker decides to target someone new and sets his sights on Metropolis, home of Superman. In one of his most twisted schemes ever, he kidnaps Lois Lane, implants a device in her heart linked to a nuclear bomb in the center of Metropolis, and exposes Superman to a mix of kryptonite and fear gas. This forces the Man of Steel to kill Lois with his own hands, believing he is battling the monster apocalypse. When Lois's heart stops, the device triggers, causing Metropolis to explode and killing all its inhabitants. The Joker by Brian Azzarello. Released 3 months after Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo's 2008 graphic novel, simply titled Joker, clearly drew visual inspiration from Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Clown Prince of Crime. Without the constraints of traditional continuity, Azzarello and Bermejo created the most twisted version of the Joker ever seen in the character's history. After being released from prison, the Joker decides it's time to get his criminal empire back in order in Gotham. In his first act, to make it clear just how displeased he is with the way things have been run in his absence, he skins Monty, one of his men who had been in charge of operations, while he's still alive. And that's not even the worst thing he does in this graphic novel. The Killing Joke. In The Killing Joke, the Joker is on a mission to destroy Jim Gordon. Unfortunately for Barbara Gordon, she becomes collateral damage in this scheme. While Barbara and her father are talking, she answers the door of her apartment, expecting one of her friends. Instead, she is confronted by the Joker, who immediately shoots her. This moment is when Barbara, who had been protecting Gotham as Batgirl, is brutally paralyzed, with the bullet damaging her spine and leaving her unable to use her legs. Even more disturbing than this act is the revelation that the Joker and his henchmen stripped Barbara's paralyzed body and took nude photographs of her. These photos were then enlarged and shown to the kidnapped and immobilized Jim Gordon, as the Joker sought to break the Commissioner's mind. Thanks for tuning in and exploring these chilling Joker stories with us. The Joker is a character who never ceases to shock and horrify, and we've only scratched the surface of his darkest deeds. We hope you found these tales as gripping and unsettling as we did. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Joker's most twisted moments, make sure to give us a thumbs up. It really helps us know what kind of content you love. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any of our future videos. We have plenty more exciting and eerie content on the way. We'd also love to hear from you. So drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on these stories, or let us know if there's another character or topic you'd like us to explore. Your feedback is always appreciated and helps us create content you'll enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.